The Yorkshire Dales National Park, site of the biggest labyrinth of underground caves in Britain. It's a potholer's paradise. Each weekend, hundreds of men and women come here from all over Britain to go caving. They're lured by the fascination of subterranean Britain. Dark, wet, cold, and dangerous. Special protective gear does not eliminate the hazards. Each time they go underground and out of touch, potholers knowingly risk their lives. And that is part of the thrill. The village of Clapham, home to the Cave Rescue Organisation. For over 60 years, Cave Rescue has been helping those in peril underground. When police are informed that a caving party is worryingly overdue, they alert the duty controllers at Cave Rescue. The longest-serving controller is Jack Pickup. Now 52, he's attended over 500 call-outs or shouts in the last 30 years.
We have about 1,000 caves and potholes in this area. I mean, on this one limestone bench that we're sat on here are 40 caves and potholes alone. The main incidents that we call to, or accidents that we call out to, are involving people having falls in caves, or on the surface for that matter. Usually lower leg injuries, arm injuries and pelvic injuries, that sort. And of course floods. Floods contribute a large part of it because we're in a very wet area of the country. It's very close to the west coast. The first mountains or hills that the weather hits are the Yorkshire Dales.
Cave Rescue call the last 3 months of the year their silly season. A lot of rain combines with a lot of student caving parties to push up the shout rate. A silly season shout on a wet November Saturday. Cave Rescue have been called out to assist a young student who's got himself in deep trouble underground. By the time the rescue team arrives, his fellow students have already got him safely out of the cave.
He's currently in slow.
So you
warm and all right.
when he was going up, you got caught?
No, going down.
It was actually the foot loop that caught, was it? When you were on a deviation, you say?
No, the foot loop came undone from the harness.
So that's coming down unscrewed and one of the sides of your harness has come out.
Nothing else to draw.
Yeah, so it's fairly lucky that it heads straight to the bottom.
Yeah. I think one of them well wasted.
Oh, Dave? Yeah?
The Mahon came undone on his harness.
Oh, that's why I was hanging by his leg loop.
Well, one leg loop.
Oh my God.
So,
Ask if he backs horses, he might be able to pick a winner with that look.
yeah, it's going to look on the bright side.
Bloody want a shower or anything, or is he alright?
Yeah, I'm okay.
We'll take you back to the depot anyway. Take it for a coffee.
Right. Right.
Looks like he's about to drop dead. Are you feeling all right?
I think you should sit down before you collapse.
Just put yourself...
We have a woman in there and give you some artificial respiration. Did it frighten you then?
3 hours later, the second shout of the night. A group of students from Aston University have been marooned in Kingsdale Master Cave by fierce flooding.
They can't get back up, so they're like rats in the bottom of a bloody trap, you know.
As the team gets ready, Jack questions the student who raised the alarm.
another question. I want to know how, in depth how experienced they are.
How experienced they are? They've all been caving about 3 years.
All lot of them. You're absolutely sure. There's
They all joined the club at the same time.
There's no crazy weak link amongst them all.
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
If the students have already got wet, they could soon face death by hypothermia. For Cave Rescue, each call-out is a race against time.
Will you let us know when the Simpsons party have made your location over?
They might have been carrying, probably would have been carrying survival bags and their helmets. Most probably. None were equipped with wetsuits.
Found sheltering on a ledge, the students are then escorted to safety. Water levels can suddenly rise to as much as 20 feet, and cavers have drowned in Kingsdale before now. Today, the water has risen 3 feet above normal, but the rain has stopped, and the levels are starting to come down again.
Oh my God.
I couldn't tell you, but they're coming out of Valley, over.
Leslie, I hate to mention it, but how old are you?
20.
Goodness gracious, you don't look that. Right. Who's who else have we got? Dan Fisher we've got. Who's this other guy here?
Martin.
21. Martin, 21.
Yeah.
And the other person who I haven't got?
20.
Who?
20.
20. Okay. Good night, you all alright?
Yeah, fine.
Well done. We'll see you in the pub later. Mine's a pint of dent.
You'll probably see him tomorrow night, Jack.
Better bloody not. Alright.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Time 10 o'clock.
Hello.
Yeah, come on, you manage the pub at least a pint of dent.
Oh, do you want this?
The ladder's on by there as well, Phil.
I don't know what
Should try that, Phil.
Looked rather good, did that? Was a good try, wasn't it? We'll give you a Mars round there, come on.
I've eaten all the glucose tablets as well.
No, I hung on to them, I needed them.
The streamway that we thought the exit was past was just too strong for me, at least. I don't think anybody else tried. I think Dan tried. But it was just too strong. I knew I'd get swept away. So we thought it must be the wrong way. So walked back up and tried lots of other passages and to see if we could find the ladder, and couldn't find it. So we were just beginning to... Cave Rescue have rigged a traverse so you can avoid the river. And we were just beginning to rig that when Cave Rescue came along and found us.
Last year, 3 people died in the caves of the Yorkshire Dales. Especially in poor weather or changing conditions, a shout can come at any time. To be sure they respond with maximum efficiency, Cave Rescue have monthly training sessions.
Cave of the year.
I was wondering about the mole phones. What we'll do is we can get some people down if you want. Yeah, but Bob Mackin hasn't turned up yet. So.
Training means going underground to rescue the dummy casualty. New members of the team learn from veterans like Jack Pickup.
The Cave Rescue Organisation is a massive organisation of 150 people who give all their time voluntary for rescue of people anywhere within the Yorkshire Dales predominantly, but of course we have been much further afield on occasions. We deal with not only caving incidents, it's called the Cave Rescue Organisation, but over a period of 50 odd years now, approaching 60 years, it's built up trust with the police of course and the ambulance authorities, and it deals with caving incidents, incidents on the fell, climbing incidents, animal incidents, and any sort of people basically off the beaten track that get into trouble within the Yorkshire Dales.
Just wait there!
on. Okay, keep going. It doesn't look good.
As soon as we've got to put somebody in a stretcher, then their body weight doubles because of the stretcher as well, and the fact that we've got to struggle around tight passages and so on. So, I mean, a typical rescue that's maybe half a mile or a mile in and 400 feet underground could take easily 8 to 10 hours. So that takes a lot of effort and manpower and planning and communications and so on. Basically, caving is considerably different from most rescues insofar as it's very rigorous. We can be some considerable time underground with large numbers of people. We've got the big problem of gravity fighting against us. Most of the time we have to go down underground and then haul this injured person back to the surface again, and then when we get him on the surface we often have to carry out what you could term a mountain rescue or a fell rescue to get him to the nearest vehicle. Almost 30 years ago now, it will be I think in 1996, that four of them were very close friends of mine, along with two other guys who I knew just vaguely, and they went off into a cave called Mossdale Caverns, which is quite well known. It's extensive, but it is a low series of passages which can flood quite quickly. They chose to go in the middle of summer when, you know, the weather was very dry and so on and so forth, but unfortunate for them, there was a thunderstorm, a heavy thunderstorm, and they were caught by floodwater whilst they were exiting the cave, and they all drowned. And of course it's something that you never forget. I mean, I can't forget any of these incidents. What sometimes crosses your mind is that, you know, this might happen to you, that you might die on a rescue, and the longer that you do it, the more the chances it could occur.
Despite the dangers, there are potholers who'd rather explore new caves than visit known ones. Together with other members of Cave Rescue, Bob Mackin is driven by the need to tread where no man has trod before. For Bob, an electronics expert from Lancaster University, 1,000 caves is not enough.
We've been digging on this site for nearly 2 years. We're trying to connect with a system of cave passages that's known to be underneath us, because divers have been into them, that will give us access to many more caves on this side of the hill. The other side of the hill is well known for its caves. There are several of them that are regularly visited, and a big cave called a master cave where they all join together in the bottom. All of that's been found on that side of the hill. On this side of the hill the access is proving rather more difficult, and although there are caves under this land, they're few and far between. There are only 2 or 3 of them that are accessible. People we work with don't understand caving as a pursuit. It's in the mud, dark to their mind, underground, which a lot of people don't like the thought of. But the one thing it is it's an area where there is still original exploration left. People have overflown mountains and sailed all the seas, but no one's quite sure what's round the next corner in a cave until somebody's poked their head round it and looked.
Okay? Yeah, okay.
Every Thursday night, Bob and his colleagues go 100 feet down, hoping tonight will be the night they make the big breakthrough into virgin territory.
Be right. Fame and fortune tonight's look, new cave to play with. The thing that drives us on digging is because the caves are there and they're not accessible at the moment. So hopefully with our efforts there'll be a whole new range of caves for future cavers to visit. If we don't find what we're looking for here, then we'll clear the site up and move somewhere else and work on one of the many other sites that are waiting in the queue, as it were. Okay, Andy. Take him. Just sort this pole back out. Okay boys, take that and then send in the secret weapon. Right. Toby! Toby! You want me to go and have a look then? Yeah! Hang on! Whoa! Stop! Toby! Toby? Is he not back yet? He's on a runner. Is he not back from the sump yet? He's on a runner. He's come back and gone again. Yeah. He's just coming here now. Tell him to try and go into the hill along the line he's just followed in the mud. Go the way that goes the nearest to that.
But Toby, did you hear that? Yeah. Well, if Bob wants you to go into the hill, i.e. in the line of this dig.
And down to the right here, we could hear the water, so we've dug out a ramp down to a body-sized tube. Well, that's the problem, it's not body size on people like me, so we've applied the Northern Cave Club secret weapon, a guy called Toby Chilton, to it, who's a bit smaller than us, and he's disappeared off into the distance with lots of shouting and carrying on, and he hasn't come back yet, so things are looking quite promising. It's only 10 to 10, it's cowboy time. Oh, it's early. This is impressive. The longer it takes him to come back, the more impressive it is. So, we'll finish with that. Might have to break the habit of a lifetime and treat ourselves to a beer tonight, I think. Get hold of the rope now, pull it. Yeah, I'll get an arm out, just stand there and out and out. Good and blow. Right, Toby, what do you like? It's over 150 foot. There's an open chamber about 60 foot into it where you can actually get out of the water. There might be a passage in the roof of that, well, about 15 foot up a wall. I've left my boots, so I couldn't climb it. It ends at the moment. I've finished in a calcite block in the passage. I could squeeze over the top, but not on my top, no way. There's 2 or 3 tight bits to get to that though. But it's wet and it's cold, there's a hell of a draft. Is it? Oh yeah, it's a good draft, it's just whistling along it. Which way? It's from that way? It's going that way, it's a draft. But you don't get the impression it's inlet. There's a couple of small inlets coming in, you get about 2 or 3 of them. But it's still, you know, it's small at the end, but it's still going, and there's a booming echo. But it's cold. Echo at the end? Huh? A good echo at the end? Yeah, yeah. Sound stuff, have to get it in there then. Yeah. You'll need an hammer to just spray a couple of squeezes, I think, but they're not that bad. But anyway, I'm frozen, I'm going out. Is it pub time? It certainly is. Yeah. Something like this happens about once every 5 years. It appears from the film we've got that digs go every 5 minutes. That's not the case. Most of them take several years to do absolutely anything. This one it's taken us 18 months to sink this shaft, but we didn't know where we were going because divers have been to the bottom of the entrance there already. They'd not been in this because they'd done so much work to get there. They weren't prepared to come in here or dig this out. So that's why this is absolutely brand new this evening. No fixes or fiddles. Piece of new cave for you.